All right, welcome to 118 for today's video. We're looking at the 09th Legion Mecha Calvary. So that's really interesting with the 9 and the ST. That could be something I'm just not familiar with, but Mecha Calvary Sergeant Major. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, we saw the $45 price tag. I got this used at a local shop. Now, looking at this, just right away, this thing looks awesome. I mean, the sculpt is awesome. The design is awesome. My son brought up that it looks like a character from Titanfall, and it completely does, with the helmet especially. And something about this is, unfortunately, getting it used, it actually didn't come with everything, but it came with enough. It didn't come with the crate that you put the accessories in, and it's missing a couple hands, but the hands that it comes with, luckily, I can hold weapons with. So let's take a look at this, because with JOYTOY, I haven't had a lot of these, but I'm really interested in the articulation. So this is kind of new for me. So getting off the stand that it comes with, which is pretty cool. I like the stand. Yeah, let's kind of move them around a little bit just to kind of get an idea of the articulation. So there's a lot going on here, and a lot of these pieces are removable, and then they can be used on other JOYTOY figures that are in the scale. So you can take off the helmet and you see the character there. Now the character is on an interesting ball joint here where you can actually take this neck piece off and you can actually take this scarf off. Oh, neck piece came off. So you can kind of see how much articulation we're working with, and it's quite a bit. Now this neck piece itself doesn't have articulation, but what it plugs into has articulation. And then the top of the joint there gives it a ball joint. So let me put this scarf back on. Removable scarf, that's awesome. And take a look at that head sculpt there. That guy looks cool, painted very well. Yeah, very cool looking. So a couple other things. We have this armor that actually comes off, and we have this sort of ammo strap that comes off. He's got this gun here that you saw him holding. And yeah, you saw him holding it, and he was holding it well, but it does fall off easily. But what's really cool is, I don't know if this is intended that way. I try to copy what we see on the back of the box here, and you can actually slide the gun on the back there, and it fits in, and it doesn't fall, and that looks awesome. It's like a recreation of that exactly. So if that was intended, that is awesome. If not, it's just awesome. It works anyway. The belt, also another piece. Okay, and what's interesting, too, that I kind of skipped over is we could see on the back here and here these buckles, and they just work like you would think, the little buckle straps that you can just take them off and then take all the gear off. Also on the leg here, we have this pistol that can come out, and it's kind of just this little piece. It's kind of hard, and I'm afraid there's going to be some paint chipping from that. I haven't really seen it yet, although there's a little bit of white paint on the end here. But what I'm going to do next is take off the gear and then go through articulation. All right, and here he is with all the gear taken off except for these pieces here. You can kind of do that just by taking off the arm. Maybe I can do that here real quick. And then, yeah, taking that off. It's the same actually with the arm straps. Let me just do that since I'm already doing this. I think this was the reason was I wanted to be careful with these pegs that I don't break them, because it's a little tough to do it, even though everything else is pretty easy. So I'll just keep one on just so you can kind of see it. One main thing, my biggest takeaway from this is it makes the kind of the chest abdomen area look odd, because the intent is to have an armor piece on there. So not too big of a deal. These guys would be wearing armor anyway if I'm using them. But, the arm looks good. And okay, I'm going to go through articulation. One thing to keep in mind is it's so smooth. It's so smooth, and it gets you where you want. This is some of the best articulation from any figure of this type. So with the head, doesn't look up too much. Well, probably can, yeah, if you really work into the neck and then, yeah, down. So working with the neck and the head, yeah, that's a lot right there. Going to the shoulders, yeah, those go up like you would need to, and it's got the rotation at the arm. It's got the elbow here with the hand. And let's see, yeah, so there's a ball joint hinge on here, and you can work it to do anything. If you need to do a up, down, side to side, however you need to do it. There's all options there, so that's really good. And then with the abdomen or the chest, we've got the upper part, which is always good for figures to have, so you can see how that moves. You've got this bottom part that moves around, and these come apart real easily, and the purpose is so you can put on the accessories. Here's the belt, for instance. It's really, I can just pop this off. It came off easily. It goes on good, and it's like it's still a good smooth but not floppy articulation. Like, you don't really see that much. I'm like barely moving them with my finger and it's moving, but it's not gonna be all floppy and wiggly. So we saw that kind of ball joint with the waist, which is really good because then you get the swivel, you get the rotation everywhere. Okay, and so with the hips, they've got these pieces that seem like they can come off. I've tried and it's kind of hard. I've been able to move them around. I'm not gonna go all the way yet. But you've got the typical ball joint hips that should be standard for figures of this scale. I've got the thigh swivel. You've got the knee, and it does have a double jointed knee, and because of the cut here, you can actually go back all the way. And then when you're down at the boot here, it's got side to side, a lot of up and down, and then the toe. A nice little addition that's unnecessary, but just kind of cool. And so, that's the articulation with this. And it comes with the stand that you can then plug his feet into. The thing is, the stand or the pegs or the holes in his feet, whichever direction you want to go, they're not super tight. So it can fall off if you're not careful. Really, I would just have all the armor on the guy anyway. And you can kind of see the little pistol that he kind of holds on the side. His gun, again, very reminiscent of Titanfall or some other type of futuristic FPS. Yeah, especially that helmet. And all the little interchangeable parts to it there. So, really, for my first JOYTOY, this really sold me on what their figures do, and I think this is awesome. And what they are, I would love to get some of the mechs they have that are in this scale. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about this figure, and thanks for watching.